Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you guys are new here, hi, my name is Bernie. This is my channel, Bernie Tries. And while you guys are at it, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I am uploading frequently, and I'm sure you'll find something on my channel that you'll find interesting and that will make you want to stay around. So while you're here guys, if you haven't done already, go ahead and subscribe. So guys, I am fresh from my trip to South Korea. It was so much fun and very memorable, and I'm gonna remember this trip for a really long time. My trip was 1 week. I spent half of the trip in Busan and the other half in Seoul. It was really fun, and I actually wish I stayed longer. You guys, I didn't really announce that on my channel that I was going away on a trip, but I did leave some little hints. If you guys noticed on some shorts I put out recently of what I wore on the trip and things like that. And I also shared like little clips from my trip as well in the beginning of my short too. Busan was very beautiful, very pretty, same as Seoul. It was a really great trip, and I really recommend, if you guys haven't thought about going to South Korea as like a trip going internationally, but I think you really should add that to your list. It was a really good time, and I can't stress that enough. In this video guys, because of that trip, I want to share with you guys some packing tips that I found to be very helpful for me when I packed for my trip, that I feel like will be very helpful for you guys and bring you ease when preparing for this trip. And I want to share this with you guys, what I packed as well as what I would recommend for you guys to do. All of these items I feel like that I use to help me pack and plan for Korea, I feel like will be useful for you guys, and I will really recommend to anyone who is planning a trip to South Korea. I feel like these things will be very helpful to make your trip easier and more at ease. The list of items that I am recommending to you guys are not in any it's not prioritized by order. This is just items that I've listed in no particular order whatsoever. These are just items that I will recommend for you guys to bring with you or to pack with you for South Korea. So number one, one thing that I found that was super useful on my trip were these plug adapters. Now, if you guys are visiting South Korea from a country that is not South Korea, or you're not coming from Europe, because in Europe they use the same kind of outlets, which is the type F. If you don't use those, you will need to bring plug adapters to your trip with you to South Korea. Now, these are ones that I got from Amazon. I got some that has the 3 holes, and I got some that has 2 holes. Now, I think it's pretty self-explanatory why I got the 3 and 2, but if you guys aren't familiar with this, some electronic products, that some of them require 3 holes that you have to plug in, and I will have trouble, you know, if I bring a plug that has 3 holes and I only have an outlet of 2, I won't be able to use it in South Korea. I'll pretty much be stuck, and it'll probably be wasteful for me to bring that plug with me and I can't use it. So it's just good to like stay ahead of the game and stay prepared. Get these and these. I bought a pack of these from Amazon, 2 kinds. I bought the 6-pack of these and the 2-pack of these. I know that's a lot of plugs, but it's better to have, in my opinion, it's better to have more than to have less. And, you know, it's better just to be prepared than rather not be prepared and just be stuck in places and just be like upset and stressed. Just set yourself more ease and have a good time on the trip instead of like worrying about other small things that you could prevent by being more prepared. These outlets here. Now, speaking of outlets, that brings us to the second item that I want to recommend. Number 2. And I feel like this can go with everyone who uses hot tools to style their hair. You'll need your hot tools to have voltage compatible with South Korea. So I bought dual voltage hot tools. Now I can use both of these here in the US, but I can also use these in South Korea. And I made sure to double check the voltage to make sure that I can use them. I believe the voltage has to range from 100 to 240 voltage in South Korea. And this one here, I was really interested in doing blowouts or like really making my hair voluminous, really big hair for South Korea. So I did buy this from Amazon, and this is a dual voltage hair tool. And you can see here, you just shift this here. It's like a little turning. Right now is on 125, but you can go ahead and shift it to 250, which is what I did. I shifted to 250 for South Korea so that I can use it in South Korea. If you don't check the voltage of your hot tools, you might cause pretty much the electricity to flow out in your hotel room, and you don't want to risk that. It's probably a high chance that it can happen. I mean, probably doesn't happen all the time, but to prevent that, it's good to check the voltage on your hot tools ahead of time to just prepare to not run into that problem later on. Again, you go to South Korea without checking the voltage of your hot tools, your hair is just screwed. What are you gonna do for the rest of your trip? You know? And again, these outlets are American, so again, you have to get your adapter to use them. Number 3, the third item that I felt was super helpful on my trip. By the way, guys, most of my items here are from Amazon. Packing cubes. This is I think a 5-pack, if not 6-pack of packing cubes. And this and this other item, I feel like are my top favorite items that I highly recommend when packing on your trip. With these packing cubes, I was able to stuff as many clothing items or accessories or like belts, everything that I felt like I needed, socks in here. And it comes with an additional bottom where you can compress it to make it smaller and where it can make more room in your suitcase. So please think about getting packing cubes for your trip. This helped me not only with creating more space in my suitcase, because one thing I do want to recommend, guys, is when you travel to South Korea, make sure you have space in your suitcase for items that you will bring back, because you will go shopping. Trust me, I went shopping in South Korea, and you will too, because you want to bring souvenirs back. The clothing is really cute there, and they have really nice skincare as well. But you guys, this definitely helped, and it also helped me keep my clothes organized. I separated a lot of them into these cubes by casual wear, dinner wear, things like that, or long sleeve, short sleeve, pants, shorts. It was easy for me to separate everything with the packing cubes and keep everything organized and me knowing which packing cube had what. So guys, I do recommend this for planning your trip and for packing. Now, one item that I feel like was very helpful for me, but I also think would be very helpful for just anyone, but this was my favorite item I feel like I purchased, and it is this, guys. So you look at it and you're like, what is this? This is a toiletry bag, guys. I put my skincare in here. I put my makeup in here. This thing fits literally everything in it. I'm gonna open this up for you. And it hangs too. You can hang it. Ugh. This was like my favorite purchase, and I highly recommend this if you're someone like me. I tend to overpack because, again, like I explained with the outlets, I tend to like to be prepared just in case. And then also on Amazon, it says it's TSA approved. So if you wanted to put it in your carry-on, I didn't. I put this in my check bag because I was just like scared and I didn't want to like stop up TSA with my thing. So I just packed it and checked because I felt like a lot of items would be in here. So I just didn't want to risk it. But oh my God, guys, look. It's so long. I still have some items in there that I haven't unpacked from it, but look. And then it has this little compartment where you can put your brushes in. This is the front, by the way. Oop. What? Sorry, the front. And then the inside. I put my jewelry in here, my skincare, my, as you can see, hair products, my makeup. Everything just fit in here so perfectly and so snug, and it was very organized. Like I said again, guys, you think I'm probably talking too much about this, but this was my favorite purchase that I would highly recommend for your trip. I don't have my fourth item that I want to recommend to you guys, but you're gonna know what I'm talking about. AirTags, like your Apple AirTags, and this is for people who have iPhones. And I think they might have an alternative for non-Apple users, but AirTags in your luggage. You've heard about a lot of stories where your luggage gets lost, especially with international travel or stolen or just things going on with your luggage. So just to feel more secure with your luggage, it's best to get AirTags. So what I did was I just like opened up a little section in my luggage and just dropped an AirTag in my checked bag. And I think I also put it in my carry-on, which is not needed, but I think I probably did just because I had extra one. But yes, especially for your check bag, it's good to have an AirTag in it for reassuring purposes, because most of your clothes and most of your items are in checked bags, so it's good to keep tabs on it. I did take the time to look up some alternatives as well, just in case if you guys aren't Apple users. So we have something called a Tile Pro. It is an AirTag alternative, something you can use, and you can track it through the Tile app. If you are a Samsung Galaxy user, they have smart tags as well that you can use to help track your luggage while you're on a trip to help you feel more secure. So different things to think about with especially with checked luggage. I think it's really important just to have something to help you track what's going on with your package, just because it's autographs and you don't know what's going on. It could get lost, it can be sent to a different country by accident, you know, so it's good to have an AirTag to keep tabs and to feel more secure. Like I said, most of your items are in that suitcase. And while we're talking about GPS tracking, something to put in your luggage for security reasons and to keep track on them, I also want to recommend you guys to have luggage locks. Now, one thing that has been really prominent lately since COVID is people going in your luggage without you knowing. You know, once you send it off, especially checked luggage, people going in there. If you have some prized possessions in there, something of some quality, they might end up being stolen. So to feel more prepared and safe and secure with the handling of your belongings, it's good to have a lock on there as well, just to prevent any strange handlings of your items. So I highly recommend that as well, especially with international travel. My trip was a 15-hour flight, so it's good to have tabs on certain things and to feel more secure during that 15-hour flight, not to like feel panic that something is happening with your luggage. It's just to have that one extra element of, you know, safety and security with your luggage, just having a lock on there, and then that extra bit of security as well, having some kind of tracking in there to keep tabs on your items as well and seeing what's going on with them. Other items I found useful for the trip that I would recommend you guys to bring on your trip internationally, South Korea, or just in general if you're just going out, I feel like, because you can, this is very versatile and many of you guys are familiar with this, I'm sure. But if this video is to remind you, please bring this. This is a power bank, guys, a portable charger. You will need this. You will need this, trust me. You will be exploring a new city. You will be going to different places. You will be using your phone to take pictures, take videos, to maybe call someone, to keep in contact with someone. You need this because your phone is your safety. Pretty much you're gonna need it for transportation. You're gonna need it for translating. You're gonna need it for a lot of things. So it's good to have your phone fully charged, because if you don't understand something, you can do a quick Google. If you need to translate something, you'll need your phone. If you need to take pictures, you'll definitely need this, guys. Now, this one item I found to be helpful pretty much specifically for my flight, because my flight was super long, and yours most likely will be super long as well when you're going to South Korea. And I found, I'm looking for them, I found compression socks to be super helpful. I found that to be super helpful for my trip. Why? Okay, compression socks, when you're sitting somewhere, when you're doing something in a position for a long period of time, it can cause swelling or it can cause blood clots. So wearing compression socks will help alleviate that and will prevent those from happening. And I recommend you guys to wear these your trip to South Korea and your trip from South Korea back to your country. So while we're on the topic about health and being as comfortable as possible on your flight, I did notice that a few of my friends did this. I did not, but I'm gonna recommend it just because it might be helpful for you guys too. A lot of my friends brought Benadryl and aspirin on their flight. So they brought Benadryl because it makes you feel drowsy and it just helps you, you know, go to sleep, because it can be uncomfortable falling asleep on a plane. I'm not gonna lie, I shifted a bit. It was hard for me to fall asleep a few times as well. I didn't take it on the flight, but I had friends who did, and they said they were very comfortable and they slept like a baby throughout the flight. So that's something to recommend. So they also took aspirin on the flight, and I think I took some aspirin too, because aspirin, it will just help you as well, same as the compression socks, to prevent blood clots, because again, you're sitting on a flight for a long period of time. So just these little bits of additional help, quote unquote, I guess you can say, this medicine and also the compression socks, to make your trip and make your flight as comfortable as possible. Another item, since we're speaking about flights, now we're on to that theme of this list, I also bought another item, and this one also I felt was like very helpful. It was a neck pillow, eye mask, and it also came with earplugs. Now it was one item that came with all these three items in a bag, and that was needed for this flight, because you know, the neck pillow, it just wrapped around your neck, and it just made your neck, you know, because you're sitting in a chair the whole time like this, it's just good to have that comfortability. You know, you can get tense and it can hurt. Just having that there brought comfort to your neck. And then also having the eye mask, because they were blacked out eye masks, so you know, it can help you sleep better. You know, sometimes the lights go on in the plane, or something's going on, people are on their phones or on their phone screens, on their laptops, on their iPads, and it can stress your eyes out and bring discomfort. So having an eye mask helps you sleep better and be more comfortable on the plane. I didn't use the earplugs. They weren't needed. It was pretty quiet on my plane for the most part. But, you know, if you have a lot of noise going on in the background, those earplugs, I felt like I could see also being a good addition to your flight. And before we end this video, I just want to give you one more last tip that I felt was helpful for me when packing for my trip to South Korea. And I think this tip will be helpful for you guys. I did this on my trip, and I highly recommend you guys to do this as well. I purposely packed for this trip in a way where I could overuse and reuse again items. So I packed shoes and planned out outfits that I knew that I could wear those same shoes again and again throughout the trip, so I didn't have to pack multiple shoes. So that helped me also to get more space into my suitcase. Another thing that I did was pretty much wore my fanny pack the whole time. I'm talking about this fanny pack. Decided to just to show you guys. Pretty much the whole time throughout the trip. Again, packing ahead and packing things that you can reuse, reuse, and reuse again that will go well with each of your outfits is very smart because it helps you save some space with your bag. Packing shoes that you know you can reuse and reuse again throughout your outfits. So I try to be pretty strategic in planning out my outfits for my trip, as well as using like accessories like earrings and belts that I knew that could be used across all my outfits as well. So little tips like that I feel like is very helpful for your trip. So guys, these are all of the items and tips that I suggest you guys to consider when planning and packing for your future trip to South Korea, and little things I think you should think about. I feel like these things will make you feel more prepared, make you guys feel like more at ease, and also help you prevent little distractions that might prevent you from enjoying your trip. I hope you guys found this video to be informative, and I hope you guys found this video to be super helpful. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe, and see you guys in my next video. Bye!